If you keep making these money mistakes, you'll stay broke, no matter how much you earn. Most people don't realize they're sabotaging their own financial future until it's too late. Trapped in debt, stuck in a job they hate, and struggling to retire with next to nothing. But here's the good news. Once you understand these financial truths, you can stop the cycle and start building real wealth. And the last mistake? It's the one that keeps the majority of people struggling forever. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. Welcome to Smart Money Vids, where we explore the habits, mindsets, and strategies that set the wealthy apart from the rest. Let's dive in. Truth number one: no one is coming to save you. For most of your life, you've been told that if you work hard and follow the rules, things will eventually work out. That the government, your employer, or even your family will step in when things get tough. But here's the truth. The only person responsible for your financial future is you. The government? They're not designing policies to make you rich. They're managing a system that keeps the majority of people working until retirement. Your job? It might pay the bills, but it won't make you wealthy. In fact, it keeps most people trapped in a cycle of earning, spending, and waiting for the next paycheck. The sooner you realize that no one is coming to bail you out, the sooner you can take full control of your financial future. So where do you start? First, stop waiting for someone else to change your situation. No employer, politician, or family member will do it for you. Here's what you should focus on instead. Build an emergency fund so you're not dependent on anyone when things go wrong. Get out of debt as fast as possible. The less you owe, the more freedom you have. Create income sources that you own, whether it's a side hustle, investments, or a business. The bottom line, your financial success is your responsibility and no one else's. The moment you take full ownership of your future, everything starts to change. Truth number two: your job won't make you rich. Most people believe that if they work hard, stay loyal to their company, and climb the corporate ladder, they'll eventually become wealthy. But here's the harsh truth. Your job will never make you rich. It might provide stability, benefits, and a steady paycheck. But relying on a single income stream, especially one controlled by someone else, is the fastest way to stay stuck in the rat race. Think about it. No matter how much your salary increases, your expenses tend to rise with it, a phenomenon called lifestyle inflation. You start making $50,000 a year, then $75,000, then $100,000, but somehow you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, the wealthy don't rely on a job for income. Instead, they build multiple streams of income, so their money keeps growing even when they're not working. Take a look at the richest people in the world. None of them depend on a single paycheck. They own businesses, invest in assets, and have systems that generate money without their constant effort. So what should you do? First, stop looking at your job as your financial plan. Instead, think of it as a stepping stone. Your paycheck is a tool, not the destination. Here's what that means. Instead of spending everything you make, use part of your income to buy assets that appreciate: stocks, real estate, or even a small side business. Find ways to generate passive income so you're not always trading time for money. And most importantly, start thinking like an investor, not just an employee. If your goal is real wealth, your job should be a launch pad, not a life sentence. Truth number three: debt is a trap, unless you use it wisely. Debt can either build your wealth or destroy it, and most people fall into the second category. The problem isn't just having debt. It's the kind of debt people take on and how they use it. Most people borrow money for things that make them poorer: new cars, vacations, designer clothes, and credit card splurges. These purchases feel good in the moment, but drain your future wealth. Meanwhile, the wealthy use debt as a tool to buy assets, invest in real estate, or fund businesses that generate more money. Here's the harsh truth. Debt doesn't care if you're using it wisely or not. It just keeps growing. If you use it wrong, it controls your life. If you use it right, it works for you. So how do you make sure you're on the right side of debt? First, stop financing things that don't pay you back. If it loses value over time, don't borrow money for it. Instead, focus on paying off high-interest debt first: credit cards, payday loans, and anything that keeps you stuck. Using debt only for things that increase your income, like investments, education with a clear return, or business growth. Avoiding lifestyle debt altogether. If you can't buy it in cash without hurting your finances, rethink the purchase. At the end of the day, debt isn't just about money, it's about control. Either you control your debt or your debt controls you. Truth number 4, if you don't invest, you will always work for money. Saving money alone won't make you rich. In fact, if you're just stacking cash in a bank account, you're actually losing money every single year. Why? Inflation. Every year the cost of living goes up. The same $100 you saved last year is worth less today. Meanwhile, the wealthy don't just save money, they make their money work for them. This is where investing comes in. If you're not putting your money into assets that grow, like stocks, real estate, or businesses, you'll spend your entire life working for money instead of having money work for you. Think about this. If you invest just $500 per month into an index fund that grows at 8% annually, you'd have nearly $1.5 million in 40 years. But if you just save that same $500 a month, you'd only have $240,000. That's a $1.2 million difference, just because you invested instead of letting your money sit. So, what's the best way to get started? Start now, even if it's a small amount. The earlier you begin, the more compound interest works in your favor. Stick to simple, proven strategies. You don't need to pick individual stocks. Index funds and ETFs are a great starting point. Be consistent. Investing isn't about timing the market. It's about staying in the market long enough to let your money grow. Here's the bottom line. If you don't invest, you'll spend your entire life trading time for money. But if you do, eventually, your money will work harder than you ever could. Truth number 5, lifestyle creep is the silent killer of wealth. Making more money doesn't automatically make you rich. In fact, for most people, it just means they spend more. This is called lifestyle creep, when your income increases, but so do your expenses. It happens all the time. You get a raise, so you upgrade your car. You land a higher paying job, so you move into a bigger house. You start making 6 figures, but somehow, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because instead of using that extra money to build wealth, most people use it to upgrade their lifestyle. The wealthy play a different game. Instead of increasing their expenses every time they earn more, they keep their lifestyle the same and invest the difference. Here's the harsh truth. If you always spend what you make, it doesn't matter if you earn $50,000 a year or $500,000, you'll always be one paycheck away from financial stress. So how do you avoid falling into this trap? Every time you get a raise or bonus, invest at least 50% of it instead of spending it. Learn to separate wants from needs. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. Live below your means, not just within them. The more margin you create, the more freedom you have. At the end of the day, true wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and grow. Even if you master everything we've covered so far, there's one mistake that could still ruin your financial future, and most people don't realize it until it's too late. What is it? Truth number 6, the poor focus on looking rich, the rich focus on getting rich. This is one of the biggest differences between the wealthy and the broke. Poor and middle-class people spend money to look wealthy. Expensive cars, designer clothes, luxury vacations. They finance their lifestyle to impress others, but behind the scenes, they have little to no actual wealth. Meanwhile, the rich don't care about showing off. They care about building assets. Here's an example. Most self-made millionaires drive modest cars. They don't care about flexing a brand new luxury vehicle. Instead, they invest their money in stocks, businesses, and real estate, things that actually make them richer. On the other hand, someone trying to look rich will finance a $70,000 car that loses value the moment they drive it off the lot, while their bank account remains empty. The hard truth is, wealth is silent, but poverty screams. So how do you avoid this mistake? Stop caring about impressing other people. No one worth knowing cares about your car or your shoes. Before making any big purchase, ask yourself, will this make me richer or just make me look richer? Focus on building assets first, luxuries later. Wealth comes from what you own, not what you wear. The sooner you shift your mindset from looking rich to actually getting rich, the faster you'll build real financial freedom. Which of these harsh money truths surprised you the most? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. At Smart Money Vids, we're all about turning knowledge into action. Check the description for helpful tools and subscribe for more life-changing insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.